Hey there, Soul Shines. It's Michelle here. I'm inviting you to wake up and live. And today we're going to talk about the power of questions and how they can help you be more alive and get the life that you want. Um, First of all, I missed Friday and Saturday because I was super busy, crazy with birthday plans. My birthday was on Saturday and I'm 29 again. Just kidding. Um, and it's been pretty interesting. In fact, my oldest son and his wife and my grandbaby are coming over in a little bit, so I didn't want to take and get out the computer and get on that. So I'm on my phone again because I just didn't want to wait and I didn't want to have to deal with everything when we have other things happening today. But I wanted to keep my commitment to have a video today. And it wasn't easy because I've been living in the power of questions, which is fantastic, until I hit a limit. So my questions, some of the best questions are: what would it take? Why am I so amazing? Why is this an amazing day? I have reminders on my phone. One of them asks me, "Who are you?" and "Who am I?" And I was having a hard time with my son the other day, and I asked, "Who am I?" And I love the peace that comes over me as I ask myself who I am, because that's what I am inside. I feel this amazing peace, love, incredible way of being come over me when I say, "Who am I?" And so I asked that. And then I asked, "Who are you?" in my mind of my son. And the experience was just incredible. I just saw in my mind's eye like this brilliant, huge light. And from that place of recognizing who I am and who he is, I was able to resolve the conflict we were having in a peaceful way. That's one of the benefits of asking questions. Why do I receive this day is another one that I have. I always feel better about my day when I ask that. Things can be kind of crazy, and I say, "Why do I receive this day?" And things just kind of shift into a more peaceful place for me. So, what would it take is an incredibly powerful question as well. When you're wanting to create something, what would it take? For me, and I will get into the full story of this, but I ended up in a situation where I just was not in the mood to do a video. I wasn't in the mood to do anything. I didn't want to be around anybody. It was hard. And so it's like, well, what would it take? And I had to adjust some feelings that I didn't necessarily want to face. And I had to address some other things. So I got to a point where I was okay coming on and doing the video. Sometimes I've asked that, what would it take to make $50 today? And I was given an idea and I followed through with it and I got $50. I couldn't repeat it at the time because I still had a lot of issues about money. And so that's another thing is, what does it take to be totally clear with money? What does it take to totally be willing to receive large amounts of money? So these are some of the powerful questions that you can ask in your life. And it's been interesting the things that have come up as I've asked these kind of questions of myself. Another powerful question is, how does it get better than this? I recently heard a story that I think is so fabulous. A lady wanted to stay at a really expensive hotel, and she went to the hotel without reservations and she just wanted to stay there one night, and she just asked for a room, and they're like, "We're sorry, we're all booked up." And she's like, "Well, how does it get better than this?" And she asked it out loud to the guy, and he's like, trying to look around, and he tried to see, and he's like, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do." And she said again, "How does it get better than this?" And after a couple more times, she ended up talking to the manager, and the manager said, I'm sorry, there's no rooms. She says, how does it get better than this? And he did a little playing around on the computer, and he came across the the fact that there was a penthouse available. He's like, the only room we have available is the penthouse. I can give it to you for a room rent, regular room rent price, and you can only have it for one night. And she ended up getting that for regular price and the penthouse. And she ended up getting champagne or something like that to go with it. So, like, she just asked this question and had amazing results. So, I've been asking this question all day today. Than this. Everything going on, I've been asking, how does it get better than this? Sometimes I get an idea, sometimes things just improve, and it's been really fun. I'll ask it when I'm doing my makeup in the morning, and I'll have ideas about something to do. It's been really interesting, and I've always loved the results. So today, I was asking how does it get better than this all day. Went to the bank and just had an amazing experience with the guy there. It was just really fun. I was in a really great mood. He informed me that my driver's license expired. I was like, oh man, I was trying to remember that all year. I was like, it's gonna expire on my birthday, and I forgot. So I made a couple calls to make sure that I had the time to go get my driver's license. Went in there, and there is a stigma about the DMV about how long it's going to take and all these things. And I was just like, whatever. How does it get better than this? And why is this line moving so fast? And better than this. So I walked in and I was going to stand in the line, and I was like, how does it get better than this? And the thought just came to me, you got to fill out the paperwork because you're going to have to fill it out. You might as well fill it out now before you get in line. And so I did that because it would really have sucked to stand in line to then get sent back to fill out a paper and then stand in line again. So I asked the question, got my answer, filled it out, stood in line. Why is this line moving so fast? How does it get better than this? Sent a little love to one of the ladies who was behind the counter because talk about she gave off the vibe of the classic DMV worker, just miserable, hated being there kind of thing. And I was just like, okay. Sent her a little love. How does it get better than this? Ended up being helped by the other guy. He gave me all the paperwork and everything, or took care of all the paperwork. He's like, here's your number, go down to that thing. And the thing is I never got to sit down because he gave me the number as they were calling that number. So I never got to sit down. That was pretty incredible. So I went and took care of it. I ended up with just this incredible woman who was so happy and so helpful, and it was just great. And I walked out of there. I was probably in there 20 minutes tops. Half of that was filling out the paperwork. And it was just really incredible. And how does it get better than that? So it was a great day, and I kept asking it, and things were great. And then I got to a point where I lost it. I was feeling frustrated with a child who wasn't doing his schoolwork. He's still not done, and it's like after 5 p.m. It's been a crazy day with him. He and my other son ended up fighting, and it just didn't go well, and I lost my temper. I had it. But it gave me another question, and that's why I'm sharing it here today. Because that's why I was having a hard time getting on to do my videos, because I was very upset about this. I had a lot of feelings to feel, and I still have some to deal with. I can feel them like right there, And I had to ask a lot of questions and do a lot of things. And why am I feeling better? And how does it get better than this? What does it take to feel happier and better and all these kind of things? And I came away with this thing like, I have had this belief that you could only hold so much joy. And I was so happy. And in order to create balance, I had to create this horrible thing to bring me so down because I couldn't stay in that place of joy for very long. And that was my belief. You can only stay in a place of joy for so long. So the question I came away with is, how can I hold more joy? How can I hold joy for longer? How does that get better than this? I think that questions are fabulous. You've got how questions, you've got what would it take questions, what's another way question. You've got why. When you're saying I am amazing or I have an amazing life, a lot of times you say that and you'll get all the buts or there's no or all the reasons why not. But if you ask, why is my life amazing? You're telling your brain to look for all the ways that your life is amazing. It is an incredible way to activate a prosperous and abundant mindset. To start saying, why am I so wealthy? Why do I have so much? Why am I so blessed? Why do I have so much to be grateful for? Yesterday in church, I wanted to feel the Spirit. I have a very strong testimony from my church, and I wanted to feel that Spirit that I feel there. And I just asked, what would it take to feel that Spirit? And I had some incredible experiences, truly incredible experiences. And I felt that Spirit very profoundly. So these are some of the questions you can ask in your life. What is it that you want to experience? And, what's getting away? If something's coming up for you, what can you do to let it go? And what can you do to have a better life? And how does it get better than this? And I love that question. How does it get better than this? Because if you are in a really, like, you've hit a bad moment or something you perceive as bad, you hit this place that's like, just feels like all that high vibration is just taken out for you. You ask, how does it get better than this, so that it can lift that vibration up. If you feel like you have gotten to this most incredible place, you can still ask, how does it get better than this? And in some ways, it's this almost, I can't believe it can get better than this, but how does it get better than this? And it can. It can get better than that. So it's amazing because it can always be better. How can it get better than this? And it's not that you're thinking, oh my gosh, my life could be better. No, it's like, wow, how can it get better than this? And sometimes it's, how can it get better than this, because you're just feeling yuck. And sometimes it's just like, wow, how can it get better than this? And I love that about it. So my advice, my suggestions, my a request of you, ask questions. What would it take to create the best life ever? What would it take to create miracles in your life? As we are entering December and it's Christmas season, maybe you're not Christian, maybe you celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever. Maybe you don't even celebrate anything. There's still an energy, at least in the Western world. I don't know what things are like in other parts of the world. There is a different kind of feeling that comes with Christmas, but it's also very polar. There are people that just carry that feeling of love and peace and joy at this time of year because they're just so reminded of that giving. There are other people that it's really hard. Here in the United States, the weather can get pretty bad, or at least in the northern parts of the United States, it can get pretty bad. And financially, it can feel pretty bad because you feel like you have to provide so much. Christmas wise, like there's never enough money or whatever. But you can change your perspective and focus on having that positive feeling this season. Now, what would it take to feel the positive things this Christmas? What would it take to feel joy? What would it take to feel peace? What would it take to feel love? What would it take to feel gratitude? Ask those kind of questions and remember to ask, how does it get better than this? How does it get better than this? That's my plea for you, to ask the questions, to improve your lives, to create miracles in your lives and be who you're designed to be. Remember to let your soul shine, big, bright, light, and beautiful, and I'll see you guys next time.